Tina Turner, born Anna Mae Bullock, November 26, 1939, May 24, 2023, was a singer, songwriter, actress, and author. Dubbed the Queen of Rock and Roll, Turner's vocal prowess, dynamic voice, and electrifying stage presence helped to break racial and gender barriers in rock music. She is one of the best-selling music artists of all time, with estimated sales of over 100 million records worldwide. Turner rose to prominence in the 1960s as the lead vocalist of the husband-wife duo Ike and Tina Turner, known for their explosive live performances with the Ikettes and Kings of Rhythm. 6. After years of marital abuse, she left in 1976 and embarked on a solo career. She made a comeback with her multi-platinum fifth solo album Private Dancer, 1984, whose single, What's Love Got to Do With It, won the Grammy Award for Record of the Year and became her only #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. Her worldwide chart success continued with Let's Stay Together, Better Be Good to Me, Private Dancer, We Don't Need Another Hero, Thunderdome, It's Only Love, Typical Male, The Best, I Don't Want to Lose You, I Don't Want to Fight, and Goldeneye. Turner's Break Every Rule World Tour became the highest-grossing tour by a female artist of the 1980s and set a Guinness World Record for the then largest-paying audience in a concert, 180,000. 7. Her success as a live performer continued with the Wildest Dreams Tour, the first tour by a woman to earn $100 million, and the 24/7 Tour, the highest-grossing tour of 2008. In 2009, she retired from performing after completing the Tina 50th Anniversary Tour. As an actress, Turner appeared in the feature films Tommy, 1975, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, 1985, and Last Action Hero, 1993. Her life was dramatized in the biographical film What's Love Got to Do With It, 1993, based on her autobiography I, Tina, My Life Story, 1986. She was also the subject of the jukebox musical Tina, 2018, and the documentary film Tina, 2021. Turner received 12 Grammy Awards, which include a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award and 3 Grammy Hall of Fame inductions. Rolling Stone ranked her among the greatest artists and greatest singers of all time. She was the first black artist and first woman to be on the cover of Rolling Stone. 9. The first female black artist to win an MTV Award. 10. And the first solo artist with UK Top 40 singles across 7 decades. Turner has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and on the St. Louis Walk of Fame. She was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, with Ike Turner in 1991 and as a solo artist in 2021. She was also a 2005 recipient of the Kennedy Center Honors and the Women of the Year Award. 11. Early life. Turner was born Anna Mae Bullock B12 on November 26, 1939, in Brownsville, Tennessee. 12, 13, 14, 15. She was the youngest daughter of Floyd Richard Bullock and his wife Zelma Priscilla née Curry. 12, 16. The family lived in the rural unincorporated community of Nutbush, Tennessee, where Bullock's father worked as an overseer of the sharecroppers at Poindexter Farm on Highway 180. She later recalled picking cotton with her family at an early age. 17, 18. Bullock was African American, but she believed she had a significant amount of Native American ancestry until she participated in the PBS series African American Lives 2 with Henry Louis Gates Jr. 1920. Gates shared her genealogical DNA test estimates and traced her family timeline. 21. Bullock had 2 older sisters, Evelyn Juanita Curry and Ruby Aline Bullock, a songwriter. 22. She was the first cousin once removed of bluesman Eugene Bridges. 23. As young children, the 3 sisters were separated when their parents relocated to Knoxville, Tennessee, to work at a defense facility during World War II. 18. Bullock went to stay with her strict, religious paternal grandparents, Alex and Roxana Bullock, who were deacon and deaconess at the Woodlawn Missionary Baptist Church. 1824. After the war, the sisters reunited with their parents and moved with them to Knoxville. 18. 2 years later, the family returned to Nutbush to live in the Flag Grove community, where Bullock attended Flag Grove Elementary School from 1st through 8th grade. 25-26. As a young girl, Bullock enjoyed singing and acting, and she often performed in the streets for change so she could go to the movies. 27. She sang in the church choir at Nutbush's Spring Hill Baptist Church. 28-29. In 1950, when she was 11, her mother Zelma left without warning, seeking freedom from her abusive relationship with Floyd by relocating to St. Louis, 32 years after her mother left the family. Her father married another woman and moved to Detroit. Bullock and her sisters were sent to live with their maternal grandmother, Georgina Curry, in Brownsville, Tennessee. 30. She stated in her autobiography, I, Tina, that she felt her parents did not love her and that she was not wanted. 31. Zelma had planned to leave Floyd but stayed once she became pregnant. 32. Bullock recalled, she was a very young woman who didn't want another kid. 32. As a teenager, Bullock worked as a domestic worker for the Henderson family in Ripley, Tennessee. 33. She was at the Henderson house when she was notified that her half-sister Evelyn had died in a car crash alongside her cousins Margaret Curry and Vila Evans. However, Evans survived the car crash with injuries. 34-35. A self-professed tomboy, Bullock joined both the cheerleading squad and the female basketball team at Carver High School in Brownsville, and socialized every chance she got. 1730, when Bullock was 16, her grandmother died, so she went to live with her mother in St. Louis. She graduated from Sumner High School in 1958. 36. After high school, Bullock worked as a nurse's aide at Barnes Jewish Hospital. 37. Ike and Tina Turner. Main article, Ike and Tina Turner. Origins, 1956-1959. I would have been lost in my life at that point without him. I mean, I could do two things, work in a hospital or sing in Ike's band. I didn't know anything else, or anyone else, and I wanted to sing. Tina Turner, 1986-38. Bullock and her sister began to frequently attend nightclubs in St. Louis and East St. Louis. 30. She first saw Ike Turner perform with his band The Kings of Rhythm at the Club Manhattan in East St. Louis. 30. Bullock was impressed by his talent, recalling that she almost went into a trance watching him play. 39. She asked Turner to let her sing in his band, despite the fact that few women had ever sung with him. 40-29. Turner said he would call her, but never did. 41. One night in 1956, Bullock got hold of the microphone from Kings of Rhythm drummer Eugene Washington during an intermission, and she sang the B.B. King blues ballad, You Know I Love You. 42-43. Upon hearing Bullock sing, Ike Turner asked her if she knew more songs. 44. She sang the rest of the night and became a featured vocalist with his band. 43-45. During this period, he taught her the finer points of vocal control and performance. 44. Bullock's first recording was in 1958 under the name Little Ann on the single Box Stop. She is credited as a vocalist on the record alongside Ike and fellow Kings of Rhythm singer Carlson Oliver. 46. Early success, 1960-1965. In 1960, Ike Turner wrote A Fool in Love for singer Art Lassiter. Bullock was to sing background with Lassiter's backing vocalists, the Artettes. Lassiter failed to show up for the recording session at Technosonic Studios. 47. Since Turner had already paid for the studio time, Bullock suggested that she sing the lead. 48-49. He decided to use Bullock to record a demo with the intention of erasing her vocals and adding Lassiter's at a later date. 49-44. Local St. Louis disc jockey Dave Dixon convinced Turner to send the tape to Juggy Murray, president of R&B label Sue Records. 50-51. Upon hearing the song, Murray was impressed with Bullock's vocals, later stating that Tina sounded like screaming dirt. It was a funky sound. 51. Murray bought the track and paid Turner a $25,000 advance for the recording and publishing rights. 51-52-53. Murray also convinced Turner to make Bullock the star of the show. 53. Turner responded by renaming Bullock Tina because it rhymed with Sheena. 51-54. He was inspired by Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, and Nyoka, the Jungle Girl, to create her stage persona. 55-56. Turner added his last name and trademarked the name Tina Turner as a form of protection. His idea was that if Bullock left him as his previous singers had, he could replace her with another Tina. However, family and friends still called her Ann, 58-59. Ike and Tina Turner on the cover of Cash Box's June 30, 1962 issue. Bullock was introduced to the public as Tina Turner with the single A Fool in Love in July 1960-61. It reached number 2 on the Hot R&B Sides chart and number 27 on the Billboard Hot 100. 62. Journalist Kurt Loder described the track as the blackest record to ever creep into the white pop charts since Ray Charles's gospel-styled What I Say That Previous Summer. 5163, another single from the duo It's Gonna Work Out Fine, reached number 14 on the Hot 100 and number 2 on the R&B chart in 1961, earning them a Grammy nomination for Best Rock and Roll Performance. 62-64. Other singles Ike and Tina Turner released between 1960 and 1962 included the R&B hits I Idolize You, Poor Fool, and Tra La 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 La. 65. After the release of A Fool in Love, Ike Turner created the Ike and Tina Turner Revue, which included the Kings of Rhythm and a girl group, the Ikettes, as backing vocalists and dancers. He remained in the background as the bandleader. Ike Turner put the entire revue through a rigorous touring schedule across the United States, performing 90 days straight in venues around the country. 66. During the days of the Chitlin circuit, the Ike and Tina Turner Revue built a reputation as one of the hottest, most durable, and potentially most explosive of all R&B ensembles, rivaling the James Brown Revue in terms of musical spectacle. 67. Due to their profitable performances, they were able to perform in front of desegregated audiences in southern clubs and hotels. 68. Between 1963 and 1965, the band toured constantly and produced moderately successful R&B singles. Tina Turner's first credited single as a solo artist, Too Many Ties That Bind / We Need an Understanding, was released from Ike Turner's label Sonya Records in 1964. 69-70. Another single by the duo, You Can't Miss Nothing That You Never Had, reached number 29 on the Billboard R&B chart. 62. After their tenure at Sue Records, the duo signed with more than 10 labels during the remainder of the decade, including Kent, Senko, Tangerine, Pompeii, A&M, and Minute. 71-72. In 1964, they signed to Warner Bros. Records and Bob Krasno became their manager. 73-74. On the Warner Bros. Label, they achieved their first charting album with Live. The Ike and Tina Turner Show, peaking at number 8 on the Billboard Hot R&B LP chart in February 1965. 75. Their singles Tell Her I'm Not Home, released on Loma Records, and Goodbye So Long, released on Modern Records, were top 40 R&B hits in 1965. 62. Tina Turner's profile was raised after several solo appearances on shows such as American Bandstand and Shindig, while the entire revue appeared on Hollywood A Go-Go. 76. In 1965, music producer Phil Spector attended an Ike and Tina Turner show at a club on the Sunset Strip, and he invited them to appear in the concert film The Big TNT Show. 77. Mainstream success, 1966-1975. The duo seated and singing Ike and Tina Turner by Dennis Hopper in 1966. Impressed by the duo's performance on The Big TNT Show, Phil Spector was eager to produce Tina Turner. 78. Working out a deal with Ike and Tina Turner's manager Bob Krasno, who was also head of Loma. Spector offered $20,000 for creative control over the sessions to produce Turner and have Ike and Tina Turner released from their contract with Loma. 1379. They signed to Spector's Phil's label in April 1966 after Tina Turner had already recorded with him. 80. Their first single on his label, River Deep, Mountain High, was released in May 1966. Spector considered that record, with Turner's maximum energy over the wall of sound, to be his best work. 81. It was successful overseas, reaching number 3 on the UK singles chart and number 1 on Lowe's 40 Principles in Spain. 82. But it failed to go any higher than number 88 on the Billboard Hot 100. 83. The impact of the record gave Ike and Tina Turner an opening spot on the Rolling Stones UK tour in the fall of 1966. 84-85, in November 1967. Turner became the first female artist and the first black artist to appear on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine, 86-87. The duo signed with Blue Thumb Records in 1968, releasing the album Outer Season in 1969-88. The album produced their charted cover of Otis Redding's I've Been Loving You Too Long. 62. Later that year they released the Hunter album, 89, the title track, Albert King's The Hunter, earned Turner a Grammy nomination for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance. 64. The success of the albums led to the review headlining in Las Vegas, where their shows were attended by a variety of celebrities including Sly Stone, Janis Joplin, Cher, James Brown, Ray Charles, Elton John, and Elvis Presley. 90. Sammy Davis Jr. was particularly fond of Turner, and after she filmed an episode of The Name of the Game with him in Las Vegas, he surprised her with a Jaguar XJ6. 91. As the decade came to an end, Ike and Tina Turner began performing at music festivals. 92. Tina Turner's fashion evolved from formal dresses to mini-dresses and revealing outfits. 93. She emerged as a sex symbol and was praised for her sensual performances. 42-94. Turner performing on stage at Chilin Stadium during Soul Bowl 70 in October 1970. In the fall of 1969, Ike and Tina Turner's profile in their home country was raised after opening for the Rolling Stones on their U.S. tour. 95. They gained more exposure from performances on The Ed Sullivan Show, Playboy After Dark, and The Andy Williams Show. 96, 97, 98. The duo released 2 albums in 1970, Come Together and Workin' Together. Their cover of I Want to Take You Higher peaked at number 34 on the Hot 100, whereas the original by Sly and the Family Stone had peaked at no. 38. 62. The Come Together and Workin' Together albums marked a turning point in their careers in which they switched from their usual R&B repertoire to incorporate more rock tunes such as Come Together, Honky Tonk Woman, and Get Back. 99-100. In early 1971, their cover of Creedence Clearwater Revival's Proud Mary became their biggest hit. The single reached number 4 on the Hot 100 and sold more than 1 million copies, winning them a Grammy for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group. 101, 102, 103. In July 1971, their live album, What You Hear Is What You Get, was released. It was recorded at Carnegie Hall and became their first certified gold album. Later that year, they had a top 40 R&B hit with Ooh Poo Pa Doo. 62. Their next 3 singles to chart, I'm Yours, Use Me Any Way You Wanna, Up in He, and Early One Morning, a Little Richard cover, all peaked at number 47 on the R&B chart. 62. In 1972, the Turners opened Bollock Sound recording studio near their home in Inglewood. 104. After Liberty was absorbed into United Artists Records, they were assigned to that label. 105. Around this time, Tina Turner began writing more songs. She wrote 9 out of the 10 tracks on their 1972 album Feel Good. 106. In October 1972, Turner and the Ikettes performed at Star Spangled Women, a political fundraiser for the 1972 presidential campaign of George McGovern, at Madison Square Garden in New York City. 107. The duo's 1973 hit single Nutbush City Limits, number 22 pop, number 11 R&B, 62 pennied by Tina Turner, reached number 1 in Austria, number 4 in the UK, and the top 5 in several other countries. 108. It was certified silver by the BPI for selling 250,000 in the UK. 109. As a result of their success, they received the Golden European Record Award, the first ever given, for selling more than 1 million records of Nutbush City Limits in Europe. 110. Their follow-up hits included Sweet Rhode Island Red and Sexy Ida in 1974. 62. In 1974, the duo released the Grammy-nominated album The Gospel According to Ike and Tina, which was nominated for Best Soul Gospel Performance. 64. Ike also received a solo nomination for his single Father Alone from the album. 111. Tina Turner's first solo album, Tina Turns the Country On, Earned her a nomination for Best R&B Vocal Performance, Female. 112 that year, Tina Turner filmed the rock opera Tommy in London. 113. She played the Acid Queen, a drug-addicted prostitute. Her performance was critically acclaimed. 114. Shortly after filming Wrapped, Turner appeared on Anne Margaret's TV special. 115. Following the release of Tommy in 1975, Tina Turner released another solo album, Acid Queen. 116. The album reached number 39 on the Billboard R&B chart. It produced the charting singles Baby, Get It On, and a cover of Led Zeppelin's Whole Lotta. Split, 1976. By the mid-1970s, Ike was heavily addicted to cocaine, which hindered his relationship with Tina. 118. In 1976, they headlined at the Waldorf Astoria, New York, and signed a television deal with CBS TV. 119. Ike made plans for them to leave United Artists Records for a 5-year deal with Cream Records for $150,000 per year. The deal was to be signed on July 5, 120. On July 1, the Turners flew from Los Angeles to Dallas, where the Review had a gig at the Statler Hilton in downtown. The couple got into a physical altercation on their way to the hotel, with Tina defending herself and fighting Ike back physically. Shortly after arriving, Tina fled with only 36 cents and a mobile card to the nearby Ramada Inn across the freeway. 121. She filed for divorce on July 27, and it was finalized on March 29, 1978. 122-123. After they disbanded, United Artists released 2 more albums credited to the duo. Delilah's Power, 1977, and Airwaves, 1978. 124-125. Solo career. Early solo career, 1976-1982. Following her separation from Ike, lawsuits mounted for cancelled Ike and Tina Turner gigs. 126-127-128. Turner earned income by appearing on TV shows such as The Hollywood Squares, Donnie and Marie, The Sonny and Cher Show, and The Brady Bunch Hour. 129-130. After receiving funding from Mike Stewart, an executive at United Artists Records, Turner returned to performing in order to pay off her debts. 131. In 1977, she formed a new band and re-emerged with new costumes designed by Bob Mackie. 132. She took her act to smaller venues and headlined a series of cabaret shows at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. 133-134-135 later that year. She embarked on her first solo concert tour in Australia. 136-137. Turner and Tom Jones starred in an HBO TV special that was shot at the Warner Theatre in Washington, D.C. in September 1978. 138. Around that time, her third solo album, Rough, was released on United Artists with distribution in North America and Europe on EMI Records. 139. That album, along with its 1979 follow-up, Love Explosion, which included a brief diversion to disco music, failed to chart, so United Artists and Turner parted ways. 140. Without the premise of a hit record, she continued performing and headlined her second tour. 141. In 1979, Australian manager Roger Davies agreed to manage Turner after seeing her perform at the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco. 142. In early 1979, Turner worked in Italy as a regular performer on the RTÉ 1 TV series Luna Park, hosted by Pippo Baudo and Heather Parisi. 143. Later that year, she embarked on a controversial 5-week tour of South Africa during the apartheid regime. 144. She later regretted the decision, stating that she was naive about the politics in South Africa at the time. 145. In October 1981, Rod Stewart attended Turner's show at the Ritz in New York City and invited her to perform Hot Legs with him on Saturday Night Live. 146. In November, Turner opened 3 shows for the Rolling Stones during their 1981 American tour. 147 Turner performed in March 1982 in the Willem Ruiz Show, Netherlands, which resulted in the hit Shame, Shame. Shame reaching number 47 in the Netherlands. In 1982, Turner's recording of The Temptations' Ball of Confusion for the UK production team BEF became a hit in European dance clubs. 148 In 1982, Turner also appeared on the album Music of Quality and Distinction Volume 1 by BEF, a side project of Heaven 17, singing Ball of Confusion. She filmed a music video for Ball of Confusion that aired on the fledgling music video channel MTV, becoming one of the first Black American artists to gain airtime on the channel. 149 Also in 1982. Turner appeared as a special guest on Chuck Berry's television special performed at the Roxy in West Hollywood. 150. Career resurgence and superstardom, 1983–2000. Until 1983, Turner was considered a nostalgia act, performing mostly at hotel ballrooms and clubs in the United States. 151 During her second stint at the Ritz, she signed with Capitol Records in 1983. 152 In November 1983, she released her cover of Al Green's Let's Stay Together, which was produced by BEF. It reached several European charts, including number 6 in the UK, 153–154 in the US. The song peaked at number 26 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 1 on Hot Dance Club Songs, and number 3 on Hot Black Singles. 155. Following the single's surprise success, Capitol Records approved a studio album. Turner had 2 weeks to record her Private Dancer album, which was released in May 1984. 151. It reached number 3 on the Billboard 200 and number 2 in the United Kingdom. 156–157. Private Dancer was certified 5 times platinum in the United States. 158. And sold 10 million copies worldwide, becoming her most successful album. 159–160. Also in May 1984, Capitol issued the album's second single, What's Love Got to Do With It? 161. The song had previously been recorded by the pop group Bucks Fizz. 162. Following the album's release, Turner joined Lionel Richie as the opening act on his tour. 151. On September 1, 1984, Turner achieved her first and only number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 with What's Love Got to Do With. The follow-up singles Better Be Good to Me and Private Dancer were both US top 10 hits. 163. The same year, she duetted with David Bowie on a cover of Iggy Pop's Tonight. Released as a single in November, it peaked at number 53 in both the UK and the US. 164. At his spring 1985 ready-to-wear runway show presented in fall of '84, Paris designer Karl Lagerfeld put his models in Tina Turner wigs and said he was mad for her. 165. Turner culminated her comeback when she won 3 Grammys at the 27th Annual Grammy Awards, including the Grammy Award for Record of the Year for What's Love Got to Do With It. 64. In February 1985, she embarked on her second world tour to support the Private Dancer album. 2 nights were filmed at Birmingham, England's NEC Arena, and later released as a concert on home video. She was often dressed in clothes by designer Azzedine Alaïa for this tour and sometimes dedicated songs to him. 166. During this time, she also contributed vocals to the USA for Africa benefit song We Are the World. 167. Turner's success continued when she traveled to Australia to star opposite Mel Gibson in the 1985 post-apocalyptic film Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. The movie provided her with her first acting role in 10 years. She portrayed the glamorous Aunty Entity, the ruler of Bartertown. 168. Upon release, critical response to her performance was generally positive. 169. The film was a global success, grossing more than $36 million in the United States. 170. Turner later received the NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Actress for her role in the film. 171. She recorded 2 songs for the film. We Don't Need Another Hero, Thunderdome, and One of the Living. Both became hits, with the latter winning her a Grammy Award for Best Female Rock Vocal Performance. 64. In July 1985, Turner performed at Live Aid alongside Mick Jagger. 172. Their performance shocked observers when Jagger ripped her skirt off. 173. 174. Turner released a duet, It's Only Love, with Bryan Adams. 175. It was nominated for a Grammy Award. And the music video won an MTV Video Music Award for Best Stage Performance. 176. In 1986, Turner released her sixth solo album, Break Every Rule, which reached #1 in 4 countries and sold over 5 million copies worldwide within its first year of release. 177. The album sold more than 1 million copies in the United States and Germany alone. 158. 178. The album featured the singles Typical Male, Two People, What You Get Is What You See, and the Grammy-winning Back Where You Started. Prior to the album's release, Turner published her autobiography I, Tina, which became a bestseller. That year, she received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. 179. Her Break Every Rule World Tour, which began in March 1987 in Munich, Germany, was the third highest-grossing tour by a female artist in North America that year. 180. In January 1988, Turner performed in front of approximately 180,000 at Maracana Stadium in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, setting a Guinness World Record at the time for the largest paying concert attendance for a solo artist. 181. 182. In April 1988, Turner released the Tina Live in Europe album, which won a Grammy Award for Best Female Rock Vocal Performance. 183. After taking time off following the end of the tour, she emerged with the Foreign Affair album in 1989. It reached #1 in 8 countries, including in the UK, 5 times platinum, her first #1 album there. The album sold over 6 million copies worldwide and included the international hit single, The Best. 184. 185. In 1990, Turner embarked on her Foreign Affair European tour, which drew in nearly 4 million spectators, breaking the record for a European tour that was previously set by the Rolling Stones. 186. In October 1991, Turner released her first greatest hits compilation, Simply the Best, which sold 7 million copies worldwide. 187. The album is her biggest seller in the UK, where it is certified 8 times platinum with more than 2 million copies sold. 188. Private Dancer was the beginning of my success in England, and basically Europe has been very supportive of my music. I am not as big as Madonna in the United States. I'm as big as Madonna in Europe. I'm as big as, in some places in Europe, as the Rolling Stones. Sick. Turner reflecting on her European success. Larry King Live, 1997. 189. In 1991, Ike and Tina Turner were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. 190. Ike Turner was incarcerated at the time, and Tina Turner did not attend. 191. Turner stated through her publicist that she was taking a leave of absence following her tour, and she felt emotionally unequipped to return to the US and respond to the night of celebration in the manner she would want. 192. Phil Spector accepted the award on the behalf. 193. In 1993, the semi-autobiographical film What's Love Got to Do With It was released. 194. The film starred Angela Bassett as Tina Turner and Lawrence Fishburne as Ike Turner. They received Best Actress and Best Actor Oscar nominations for their roles. 195. While she was not heavily involved in the film, Turner contributed to the soundtrack for What's Love Got to Do With It, re-recording old songs and several new songs. The single I Don't Wanna Fight from the soundtrack was a top 10 hit in the US and UK. 196. 197. In 1993, Turner embarked on her What's Love tour, which visited primarily North America with a few shows in Australasia and Europe. In 1995, Turner returned to the studio, releasing Goldeneye, which was written by Bono and The Edge of U2 for the James Bond film GoldenEye. 198. In 1996, Turner released the Wildest Dreams album, accompanied by her Wildest Dreams tour. In September 1999, before celebrating her 60th birthday, Turner released the dance-infused song, When the Heartache Is Over, as the leading single from her 10th and final solo album, 24/7. 199, the success of the single and the following tour helped the album become certified gold by the RIAA. 158. The 24/7 tour was the highest-grossing tour of 2000. Grossing over $120 million. 200. Her two concerts at Wembley Stadium were recorded by the director David Mallet and released in the DVD One Last Time Live in Concert. 201. At a July 2000 concert in Zurich, Switzerland, Turner announced that she would retire at the end of the tour. 202. Later career, 2001-2021. Turner during her 50th anniversary tour in 2009. In November 2004, Turner released All the Best, which debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200 in 2005, her highest charting album in the United States. 203, the album went platinum in the US 3 months after its release and reached platinum status in 7 other countries, including the UK. 204-205. In December 2005, Turner was recognized by the Kennedy Center Honors at the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C., and was elected to join an elite group of entertainers. 206. In February 2006, Turner released Teach Me Again, a duet single with Italian singer-songwriter Elissa that was recorded for the anthology film All the Invisible Children. 207-208, the whole revenue from the single's sales was donated to charity projects for children led by the World Food Programme and UNICEF. 207. Turner made a public comeback in February 2008 at the Grammy Awards, where she performed alongside Beyoncé. 209-210. In addition, she won a Grammy as a featured artist on River, the Joni Letters. In October 2008, Turner embarked on her first tour in nearly